Well, welcome everyone, and thank you very, very much for joining us today. We are here today to discuss the progress of our Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion project, sponsored by the Amani Foundation and in partnership with WFTO, WFTO Europe, Polish Fair Trade Federation, and Sustainable Journey. So today is the day we will report on how busy we were in 2025 since the beginning of this project, since July, if I'm not mistaken, all the way to today. First of all, I wanted to thank you, the whole team, for their tremendous work, for the energy, the meetings, and everything which we were able to accomplish. Thank you so much to Tadeusz, to Zerin, Natalie, Robert, Erin, Dondril, Sarah, and all the others, which I'm forgetting probably, who allocated time and energy to make this project happen. So, as I said, this session is about taking stock of where a Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion is today, what we've built together over the past 8 months or so, and most importantly, how members can actively benefit from what's coming next in 2026. So, as you may have noticed, this is not a theoretical project update. It's about real tools, real market access, and real next steps for the fair trade fashion enterprises. So we had a very, very strong start in 2025. We were extremely busy. But before we go into the activities and the outputs of the project, I would like to ground us with why this project exists and what are the aims of this project. So Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion was actually created to respond to a very real gap. Fair trade producers are strong in values, craft, and impact. They do amazing work, they have amazing products, and they are beautiful, amazing businesses overall, but often under-supported when it comes to structured market access, visibility, and commercial readiness. This project is about closing that gap without compromising on principles. It's about making fair trade fashion not only ethical, but competitive, visible, and commercially credible. So as you can see over here, we had a very, very strong start where we spent 2025 at actually building the foundations of this project and what it is to be and to become. So what we achieved so far is the creation of something that actually didn't exist before, if you ask me. It's, I would call it a coordinated global fair trade fashion ecosystem within WFTO. So for the first time, we bring together the WFTO enterprises, the producers, with tools, branding, training, and market pathways that are connected into one structure, not bits and pieces and fragmented initiatives. So we moved from coordination to action, from an idea to an operational platform, actually, that members can use to access visibility, to access buyers, to access partnership and collaboration between them. So as you remember, we had different bits and pieces part of this project. We created a strong identity for the fair fashion concept. We had capacity building. There is a grant call. There was a first of our market access activity, which was the participation at Source Fashion, etc., etc. So without further ado, I will present very, very quickly the main areas which we worked very hard at, and then I will pass it over to the WFTO team for presenting the different tools. So we had a fashion member search, a QR code with the byline, which were launched, trainings, webinars, modules, which were delivered, actually 7 in total. Members were able to access and assist. We have a grant. We had activities where advocacy and building alliances were prioritized. And the source fashion, of course. We worked hard at creating communication tools and communication campaigns around fair fashion, and the byline. Now we have the fair fashion concept, the fair trade fashion concept. And then we started with a small working group, and we will develop that working group activities during 2026 as well. Natalie?
Thank you, Isabella. Thank you, Isabella, and thank you for the lovely introduction. Good day, members, and thank you for attending the session. I'm Natalie. I'm the marketing manager of WFTO, if you don't know me, and I'll take you through some of the activities that we did last year, and we are in still development this year. So the first one, thank you. The first one that we developed was a fair fashion member search on the WFTO website. This search was a co-creation with members. So what we did was we sent out a survey to all our members and we asked them what filters and what should the search look like in order for buyers to get the correct information when they visit the search. We then developed 9 search filters based on this feedback. And to name a few, it's from geographical search to target market to shipping requirements. These were some of the filters that were developed, and you can also go view them on the member search. What buyers can now see is they have access to all our verified fashion members. They can also view the membership certificates. So I normally get a number of emails from buyers to actually confirm, are these guaranteed members, and can you please share their member certificates? Now buyers can directly download this from the website and your member search. And they can also make direct contact with members should they have any questions and place orders. The member's responsibility, that is you, is to please ensure that your member profiles are updated, and we have created a step-by-step guide on how to do so. When I've done presenting, I'll also just put a link in the chat so you can actually see the step-by-step guide to enable you to update your profiles correctly. Thank you, Isabella. The next big development is we developed a QR code with the new Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion byline, which is where your values. Each verified fashion member receives a custom QR code. When buyers scan this code, or when customers scan this code, they will link directly to their member profile in the member search. This also indicates each member's association to the project. And there is also a QR code guide that was developed by Rob. It's quite detailed, but this clearly indicates how do you use this QR code on the existing first buy label and product label. There's also training scheduled for the 18th of February at 2 o'clock. So please don't miss out on that training. Rob, would you like to add anything about the guide?
No, I just wanted to mention that I'm going to share the link to the registration for the webinar in the chat now for those who want to attend that webinar.
Awesome, thank you. That's all from me. I'm going to hand over now to Saren.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Because I had a small issue. I think I'm audible. Hello, I'm Zarin. For those of you who don't know me, I am the projects coordinator at WFTO. I will quickly go over another aspect that we have been working on for this project, which is related to developing various training and webinar modules for the use of our members. As you can see here, we have already conducted 3 webinars and 2 or 3 trainings that all of which is shared and publicly available in our video library. So if you have not participated in them as they were happening in real time, you may always revisit them and watch them. They will be there publicly available for the use of our members. As Isabella and Natalie also briefly mentioned, we will have 3 more trainings in the upcoming weeks and months.
We've lost. Oh, you're back. Okay, you can carry on. We lost you for 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, 2 minutes? Okay. As I was saying that you may see all of the webinars and trainings in our video library. You may watch them at your own time if you haven't had the opportunity to participate as they were happening in real time. And there will be 3 more trainings which are scheduled for the next weeks, months. On the 18th of February, we have a specific webinar for the use of the byline and the QR code. On the 26th, we have a training for the use of AI for our members' businesses, and there will also be the date is not set yet, but there will be another training in March, which is going to be on fashion trends, and all of these will also be available in the video library shortly after. And we share all of the updates and how to register in these webinars and trainings regularly in our through email, in our newsletters, and also on the WhatsApp channel that our members are part of. Next slide, please. Yes. I would also like to quickly go over the still open member grant framework, which has been launched as a call in November. And we already have some applications in, which is great to see. This grant has been designed as a flexible needs-based grant scheme to support our members in strengthening their capacity to compete and enhance their visibility within the wider fashion market. So we would like to boost our members' sales or different or support their business operations or the plans that they would like to implement. And of course, as the ultimate goal of supporting them in the industry and increase their visibility. There are different modules that you may choose from, which can be related to product development and design, branding and storytelling, attending different fair trades, market access or travel grants, or using it as a capacity grant. So it's really flexible and it's really modular based on the needs of each member. As I said, it has been launched at the beginning of November, and the deadline is in 4 days at the end of this month. We will evaluate the applications throughout the month of February, and we will contact the grantees by the end of February. The grant is up to 5,000 euros per member to implement their projects. So in the application, there's also a budget that members need to present, and but the top budget can't be 5,000 euros per member. The eligibility criteria is quite straightforward. It is designed for guaranteed WFTO members who are either guaranteed WFTO members or renewal in progress. So the membership fees of 2026 need to have been paid. And this of course holds for throughout the year. We are open for members operating in the fashion sector or want to implement a project to go in the fashion sector. And furthermore, of course, members who are committed in utilizing WFTO labels on their products, and also be committed to the project development, such as updating the member profile, which Natalie have explained briefly, participating in the trainings and webinars regularly, and if not participating, watching afterwards, having a commitment to the activities of the project, and also be willing to use the WFTO, the Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion byline and QR code on their products alongside the WFTO labels. The projects need to be implemented and completed by the 30th of September. And of course, it's a little bit technical for the grantees who receive the grant. There will be a month for them to present a final report. But these are technical details that will be shared with the ones who actually receive the grants. And the way that it will work is that the grantees will receive 80% of the grant at the start of their project and the 20% once they present the final report and that final report is approved. That's it for me. I will drop in some links for the trainings for the training sessions that we will have in the next months, and I will leave the word to Mikkel.
Thank you. Do you hear me? Just wanting to make sure my sound works. Right, great. WFTO Europe, which I'm representing, just in case any of you don't know me, I'm Mikkel Norgard, the regional coordinator of the European branch of WFTO. And as we've always been present in Brussels, we've taken a huge part in the advocacy work towards the EU of WFTO, and also in this project. We are responsible for the advocacy as well as for building alliances with like-minded NGOs, CSOs, of which many are present in Brussels and some also outside Brussels, of course, but generally in Europe. And then we'll be looking to participate in some global fora on due diligence related to the fashion sector in different forms. More about that in just a second. But I just wanted to share with you what we've done so far in terms of mapping and engaging like-minded stakeholders, NGOs, CSOs, that could be and are advocacy allies on different things. In particular, we made a collaborative session with these during the Fair Trade Advocacy Office's marathon that they do each November, which closes with it doesn't technically close with, but it culminates, let's say, in the Fair Trade Breakfast in the European Parliament, in which we also had a WTO member working on fashion and particular living wages speak. Now, I understand that perhaps you can't see so well what's written on the picture to the right. So I just wanted to read out a few things. This was kind of a Mentimeter we did for participants of that collaborative session to understand their motivation for participating. And indeed, we were very happy to see many of them saying exactly what was the point for us with this session as well, like learning more about the fair trade movement on the fashion sector, doing knowledge transfer and finding synergies, as well as sharing ideas on how to curb fast fashion and steer policy. And these are some of the inputs we got from the very start of the session, so laid really a good foundation for a very good conversation. And we have a lot of synergies and advocacy goals in common with many of these CSOs and NGOs that we're building on and taking forward, especially when it comes to eco-design, where the criteria are now being developed by the Commission, even though it's technically in force already, which is something the FTO has a big role to play in, but where we're also supporting, especially with bringing best practice and good examples, experience from the ground, from members working on fashion within the WTO Europe and WTO global networks. Something that has been tremendously enabled by this project of Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion. Next slide, please. And then we've also, since, as I mentioned, we are based in Brussels, utilized our position to engage with MEPs And we did, together with the Fair Trade Advocacy Office, have a joint event in the European Parliament, hosted by MEP Rasmus Nordqvist from the Greens, also a Danish MEP actually of the Socialist Party, where we also drew in both member and non-member enterprises working in the fashion sector, social enterprises in particular. So also the non-member participants were essentially with the same DNA as WTO members, sharing best practice experience for the purpose of the eco-design in particular, and bringing on board MEPs who are very, let's say, lenient towards our case. And we had a really, really good conversation with that. Later on in the same month, there was also a launch of a textiles working group in the European Parliament. That's the picture you see on the right, where especially Belgian MEP Saskia Brikmont and Irish MEP Andrew Barr are the main leaders of this working group. Something that we're, or rather one that we're following and keeping in touch with and utilizing whenever there's a chance to promote also the concept of fair trade fashion, which we really see as one of the main policy tools, or rather, let's say, policies worked around the concept of fair trade fashion would be one of the most practical ways to curb fast fashion in particular, but also to mend many of the issues you see in the fashion sector in general, in terms of human rights abuse and environmental issues in the more mainstream supply chains, let's say. So that's what's gone on so far, and we're building on both of these initiatives to keep the relationship with the MEPs, in particular through the FTO as well, and to see how we can further utilize these and the outcomes, of which also we have written outcome, especially of our joint session in the European Parliament that we had in June. If any of you are interested, we're happy to share as well. And then to take some of these outcomes into the more global fora. And so just to share with you, I don't have a specific slide on it, but one of the key activities that we have going forward is participation in the OECD Forum on Due Diligence in Textiles and Footwear sector, textiles, garment and footwear sector to be precise, which happens in Paris next month. So that's one of the global fora that we have mapped, and together with Isabella, we're mapping further ones in London, in Copenhagen, and in Geneva that we will endeavor to participate in or contribute to in some form of fashion through this project. So that's the main advocacy goals for the coming 3, 4, 5 months. And then on the WTO Europe side, we will continue to bring also lessons learned and experience gathered, practices gathered from the advocacy efforts into the trainings, and especially the toolkits from the previous trainings we've participated in, where we covered relevant EU regulation and legislation, which you can expect at the end of February. Yes, that's my part. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mikhail. So as you guys can see, everybody was extremely busy. So now to the fun part. Let's talk a little bit about source fashion, which of course for me personally it was one of the milestones of the project. To put the scale into perspective, this show was 3,200 buyers which were registered, more than 250 manufacturers and booths from 20 countries were present, and we were present as well. Just to be very much precise about why we chose that specific event and not many of the other fashion events which are happening around Europe. You know, source fashion is not a niche ethical fair. It's actually a central place for European fashion industry, where you know, the mainstream sourcing conversations are happening. And being actually present positions WFTO members inside those conversations and not at the margin. So this was the main goal of attending that show. We had a beautiful stand over there, which was curated by Dondril Glover, with tremendous help of Sarah Collins, and I was myself as well over there. How did we manage this? This part of the project is that there was a call for members of WFTO to apply to participate at the show, and then Dondril, Sarah, and myself, we chose from the applicants the most suitable companies, the most suitable producers who were able to and who had in their collections products which would create appeal, which were on brand with the actual trends present at that show. So the selection process was quite interesting and was quite long and complicated to choose what could best represent WFTO and the fair trade fashion spirit at that show, and of course create attraction from those sourcing people and the buyers who are usually attending those shows. So this is our modest stand we had over there. As you can see, we put the Wear Your Value slogan front and center of the stand. And then there was a display of those products which were selected. Very quickly, we will have a specific session to debrief on the show and the outcomes of the show. We will be connecting those particular brands and members who participated with the specific buyers who showed interest. But what I can say today is that we had a little bit over 30 buyers who were directly interested by sourcing products from the members on the stand. So that was very, very interesting. Actually, those conversations were not, oh, I like this product, I would like to buy or purchase that. Those conversations, for most of them, were a lot deeper around how those buyers and the sourcing community can communicate, collaborate long-term with WFTO members. So, of course, we can define this stand a little bit as a showcase, as an overview of the WFTO ecosystem, but as much as possible, we try to promote the WFTO membership in its whole, present all the values our members are bringing to the market, and have all the conversations. So we have also a connection for a member who wasn't present, whose products were not at the show, with whom we will be connecting. So this is just to say that because of the stand is small, we weren't able to take all of the members to the show. We had to select, we had to curate, but we tried and we did our best to keep those conversations open and to talk about the whole WFTO ecosystem of members and producers. We had 3 very interesting project collaboration leads, I would say. I don't know, maybe some of you heard of her. Safia Mine is a voice, especially on the UK scene for fair trade and for fashion and for sustainable fashion. Jo Stories, she's a journalist, so she will be writing about WFTO, about Wear Your Values, and our members on her online and hopefully on paper publication. And we had very good conversation with the International Trade Center, who we discovered was heavily present at the fair, sponsored over 30 booths from all over the world. And we share the same values for fair trade, for social impact, for protection of the planet. And some of our activities actually from our Gate to Fair Trade project are overlapping with their activities. So we started already talks about in 2026 and beyond, how can we join forces, how can we collaborate, and how can we bring a little bit more values to their members who would like to become WFTO members, and to our members who can benefit from all the tools and all the different areas. ITC is providing support to enterprises around the world. So here are a few pictures. Of course, we had different brands and different products. This is just an overview. So as you can see, we put the QR codes so people were able to scan them and to access the member profiles. And we also created a long list of those buyers with the specific asks, etc. We will be shortly sharing with all of you. So I would like very quickly to address a few key takeaways from the show. So Source Fashion, it was a confirmation that Source Fashion is a high quality sourcing platform, not so much of a traditional retail fair. So it was very interesting to see that this is not buy on the spot, small boutiques. This is brands. This is a very deep sourcing community looking towards engaging in long-term collaborations and partnerships. We also noticed that visibility and placement matter. The storytelling actually works and has a very strong impact. So we were very lucky to be very well positioned at the fair itself, very close to the catwalk, where people were able to directly see our stand from the area where they were looking at the different show. So materials and craftsmanship drew more attention than the product themselves. So it was very interesting to see that people were not looking for products, but were more into the materials and the craftsmanship, which is a huge added value for our members. So of course, because of what we had on the stand, we had a lot of people responding very positively towards natural materials like cashmere, alpaca, merino wool, and the handcrafted part and the embroideries we had on the stand, the quality of the materials, the touch. So it was very interesting to see that side of the interest, actually. So as I said, buyers were looking more for partners, not specific products, actually, which was very good because it was a goal alignment with what we are trying to do here. What we also noticed from all the conversation, and which is actually a very strong insight, is that the design strength and clear commercial readiness is essential. And this is maybe an area where we can work a little bit more towards collaborate with our members to strengthen that. And we do have that programming in our program. As my colleague said before, we will have a training on trends so that our members can be more prepared on what's coming for the next edition and for the next year and a half, I would say, of the trends in fashion. And we will extend that a little bit into the home decor as well, which can kind of overlap as markets. And then lastly, this shows that Europe actually remains a strong market for fair trade, and a strong market for what I would call a fair trade transparency. There's a sustained European buyer interest in ethical sourcing with interest in credible standards like our, and a very strong interest into traceability. So short supply chains, transparency, information, and so on. Which also relate to one of the trainings and one of the toolkits we will be working on, which was on the EU regulation on digital product passports, etc. So taken together, these 6 points provide actually a clear roadmap onto how WFTO members can approach source fashion, but also this kind of demand and this kind of events and similar platform more strategically going forward. And we will definitely take that into account in the next step of our project. So the next edition of Source Fashion is planned for July, from 7th to 9th of July in the same place. We already pre-booked our stand in this exact same location as we were in the last edition. So we're looking forward renewing that experience, adapting with the lesson learned from the first session, and hopefully doing even better. So how is it going to work? There will be again a call for our members to apply. Those who will show interest will receive guidance. This time around, we didn't have the time to develop a particular collection. This time around, we'll have more time to work on specific demands, specific products, and specific collection. Dondril will take over that part of the project with more precise briefing. So what we did, as I said in the first one, is we went into the existing collection of the members. This time we are aiming to guide them into seasonless, on-trend capsule collection. So probably the members attending the next session will we will be strongly encouraging them developing specific products to bring to that show. I guess that's pretty much it for my part. No, I'm sorry. I have this slide to continue on. So one of the pillars of our project is also collaboration, strengthening pathways and different opportunities to members. So we are focusing on bringing visibility to external allies, I would say, to as Mikkel explained, being present at different events, but also making strategic alliances with different initiatives which are catering to our fair trade fashion and wear your values idea. So we are developing pathways, and we're contacting and connecting with different things. This is just an example of an application we did. This is a program by the H&M Foundation, which is called Global Change Award, where we put in an application as a consortium in the name of all the WFTO fashion members. So we were lucky to go through the different stage. We're still in the race. We don't know how it's gonna end, but we're crossing fingers. You know, if not going forward, this will be one of those great connections we have made. We are also focusing on looking at other opportunities for additional funding, which could add to what we have available for this project. So our team, the colleagues from WFTO Global and the colleagues from WFTO Europe, we're looking through any other application, additional funding we might find to add funds for 2026 and or secure more funds for 2027 and moving forward. So I think I will pass the mic to Erin if she's here. Erin, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Perfect. So I will let you take it from here. Thank you very much.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Erin Flannery. I am assisting on communications for Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion as the comms coordinator. So I am just going to take us through a bit of a snapshot on how communications went from 2025 up until now. And I will just go through a little bit of our strategy moving forward and some action items for those who are on the call. So first, I just want to point to our social media traction and recognition so far. Some of our key indicators that we're looking at here are our engagement and digital reach, as well as just essentially what we have done so far as sending out emails, posting. And I think the biggest message here is that our combined efforts as WFTO, as PFTA, and all of the partners who are participating as fair fashion partners need to communicate together in order to increase our reach. So in 2025, we sent out almost 5,000 email newsletters, we almost had 5,000 newsletter opens and a combined social media reach of around 50,000 plus. We also received 8 grant applications, which is great. Of course, we would love to increase these numbers as well. So we've sent around 16,000 emails. We've had over 7,000 LinkedIn impressions. Facebook, we've had over 9,500 views. Instagram, of course, over 13,000 views and over 9,000 followers reached. So I think that our highest totals for Instagram were 475 likes. Facebook, 136 likes. So of course, moving forward, we're thinking about innovative ways where we can increase these numbers. And the best way to do this is through collaboration, through posting together. So yes, that is, I think, some of these key details that I'd love to just highlight here.
I would like to add this was a snapshot from an earlier report. So we had over 20 grant applications so far. So this figure here is not correct anymore. Which is outdated.
Fabulous. That's what we like to hear. So I think the largest thing that we'll be trying to increase moving forward in 2026 is going to be communication templates for members and amplifying the fair trade fashion voice through members posting. We're trying to make this as accessible as possible to members. And we do want to shout out Base in Bangladesh for utilizing our member templates. And thank you so much for posting. This is just a great example of ways to get involved and use our core messaging as amplification for the larger advocacy and message that we're trying to promote here. So quick plug, I would love everybody to attend the February 18th webinar to increase confidence in using these Canva templates. I will be demoing our Canva process and giving tips and tricks for how to increase social media performance with our Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion messaging. In general, also, I am really open to your feedback and recommendations for things that you would like to post or things you would like to see and repost. I think just stressing that our communication through social media templates is crucial to building our fair fashion communication cloud and helping out members in this community to spread the message.
Yes, so I would like to plug in on February 18th. I will be adding to that a little bit more about our QR codes, how to use the slogan and in a more practical sense on the labels, on the website, and in general communication. And as Erin said it very, very the important part is that we all pitch into those efforts of communication. WFTO team is doing an amazing job, sending all those newsletters, posting on all the social media channels, etc. But this is going to work only if we members, and I'm putting myself in that category as well, we post our own posts with those hashtags and those messages. And then, there is an amplification. It's like a snowball, starting small, but growing very big, very fast with social media, so that we can achieve those communication goal. We can have our voice heard. We can show the world that, the small and medium enterprises of WFTO ecosystem are beautiful enterprises with beautiful products, with the values going in, and that we are actually the answers of all the sustainability issues, which are so front page and everybody is talking about lately. So we have to take that space, occupy that space as much as possible. So again, please do attend this February 18th training webinar. And also please do make some time and some space in your own communication agendas for 2026 to spread the word, to amplify these messages.
Yes, and definitely just acknowledging that a lot of our enterprises are small teams, small but mighty. So making sure that we make these comms accessible to you, and also sometimes getting that little extra training might make it all seem a lot less large to tackle. So hopefully we'll see you there. So just to take a small snapshot of our campaigns that we'll be looking at for the first half of 2026. In February, we're going to be doing sort of like a play on Valentine's Day. Fair fashion is to me almost a love letter to fair fashion, people, and planet. And we'll also be posting members who are presenting at Ambiente trade show. In March, we'll be doing a campaign for International Women's Day, Women's History Month, and Mother's Day Part 1, which I believe is taking place in the UK and Ireland during that point. So just really talking about female producer groups, female artisan groups, leaders in fair fashion. So doing some profiles, and we'll be looking to do a little bit of podcasting with the WFTO platform as well. So stay tuned to look for that. For April, we'll be doing a focus on sustainability, given that it's Earth Day that month, but then also checking out and diving into fashion revolution and business revolution campaigns, which are still undecided yet this year, but that will definitely be a huge focus for our April communications. In May, we have Mother's Day Part 2, which is in the US, some parts of Europe. And then we'll also be highlighting a bit of our spring and summer collection highlights. And in June, we'll be gearing up promoting our summer showcase for Source Fashion of Round 2, which will be happening in July. So really pushing some of those products. But then also World Refugee Day is in June. So highlighting producers and businesses that are integrating refugees into their fashion value chain, because I do know there are a bunch of those members who are represented in Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion. So that will be our campaigns. Additional communication strategies that we'll be moving into in 2026. We will plan to utilize the WFTO podcast platform as a tool to interview, hear from benefactors of our projects, so people who are donating, as well as fair fashion pioneers. Yes, Tadej, that sounds fabulous. Thank you so much. And then also we'll be looking at influencer outreach and amplification of our messages. So Isabella and I have created a short list of sustainable fashion, slow fashion, and fair trade influencers to assist in creating content to amplify our message. We plan on reaching out to them, potentially sending some PR packages of products, posting instructions on how to communicate about Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion in conjunction with us. And then finally, we will be getting our TikTok channel up and running, gearing for launch for both informational fair fashion content as well as enterprise highlights.
I will plug in once more, with your permission, Erin, regarding the influencer outreach and the amplification of message. This is a little bit a call for all of you guys, as we don't have money to pay those people, and most of them are working and creating content because they're supportive of the cause. It would be amazing if we could offer them something. So if any of you have any small products we could be sending to them as a thank you, or as tools for showcasing the values of the project, you know, please do reach out to us. If it's, you know, of course, I understand that this is money and this is value, but this is also an amazing tool for communicating. So if any of you are ready to give away a few, we are talking about 1 or 2 of your products to help promotion, we would be very much interested to know what are those products, and which are those members who would be willing to you know, participate in that effort of outreach and working again with exterior influencers, so people who have large followings on social media, who will be creating content, videos, posts about the project, promoting the members and promoting the products.
Yeah, perfect information on that, Isabella. Thanks for going in detail there. So just as a final note, for this particular initiative for Gateway to Fair Trade Fashion, communications funnel is a little bit separate than perhaps content that you have already shared with WFTO. For this specific initiative, I've only received content submissions and permissions from 15 Fair Fashion members of WFTO. This is the list of members that I've received content from. If you do not see your name on the list, then I do not have the consent and permissions to share your content. So please fill out the following form to submit, and we'll be sharing this presentation after the call. So please do that and update your content as well by sending high quality photos and B-roll, which means videos, to me at G2FTF.coms@gmail. So all of this is really important for me. Maybe then you'll see your stuff being promoted on WFTO's channels a bit more often. Also, we'll use it for TikTok reels and all of that. And once I create that content, I will share it back with you. So it's also a little bit of incentive that if we're using your videos to edit, then maybe you'll also have a little bit of ease on your own communications planning. And if you have any questions or particular campaigns that you saw where you know that you already have content, for example, you have content about Mother's Day or International Women's Day. I know that we're all a part of different initiatives where we're sharing content constantly, but feel free to send that forward towards me as well. And so that we can use this for Gateway. That would be really helpful.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Erin, very much. Again, I want to say it again. You know, as we are seeing early traction and recognition across social channels, which is very, very important to, you know, this visibility cloud or visibility compounds, however we want to call it. It is very important that members share, repost, and use this common narrative we have to create this snowball effect of, you know, spreading the word. So let me dive a little bit on what is happening right now, what we are working on. This is again just an overview. I didn't go to the details of each of the activities and the sub activities we may have. This is just like an overview of what is happening. Oops, I'm sorry. So this is concretely what we're working on in 2026. So we are now advancing with brand outreach to 3 different audiences. So one is the fashion brands and those buyers, which we connected with at Source Fashion. And the other one are the ethical fashion brands, which are a little bit, I would say, on the margins of the WFTO, who are not WFTO members, with whom we share common goals and values as well. So we're reaching out to those entities. We are working to support that process. With Sarah Collins, we are working on a matchmaking guide, actually, which was something we kind of tested the idea at Source Fashion, and people are very much in demand of, because there's two sides of the story. On one side, we have our WFTO members and the producers who, for some, are ready and are already collaborating with those bigger brands and companies, and those who are aspiring to, but they don't really know how, or they feel that they're not ready yet. So the first part will be dedicated to them, to WFTO members, to show them that actually, even as a very small enterprise at the other end of the world from where the big brand is located, collaboration is possible. It can be done in a very good way, and how they on their side, what they should have and put in place to show those brands that they're ready, and so that this collaboration is going well. On the other side, there is those bigger brands and those bigger enterprises buying from our members, or developing collections and partnerships, which oftentimes are very much quote unquote scared of those collaborations. So we are showing them what should be implemented on their side as a buyer, as a sourcing entity, so that those collaboration go well, and that it's a win-win situation. So there's going to be a nice PDF we will also use on social media, and we will also use while outreaching to those brands. We're putting the final touches, and we will also share that with all of you. So as we said, we have our social media. We are working on the TikTok launch. That TikTok launch, we were hoping to launch it before the end of 2025, but unfortunately, as you can see, we are a very small team, very much stretched, and as much as we gave it 100% of what we had, we weren't ready to launch this TikTok channel yet. You have to understand that it's not about opening the channel and putting 1 or 2 videos. This has to be a sustained effort, and the algorithm is only valuing regular posting. So we waited to have enough content, enough quality content, to actually give it a go, and then have a sustained posting cadence. So this is why actually this TikTok is still not, we blocked it, we are working on the content, but we waited to make it public so far. So in the very first, in the first quarter of 2026, this is something we are focusing on. Again, we're very much working on strengthening that connection between the WFTO members and the market. So Source Fashion in July is only one of those initiatives. We are working on developing a virtual showcase as well, to kind of open it up, to open up that space for brands in different geographies, and for a larger community. This event will be held online as a live event, but will be also available for rewatching. So we're hoping to touch a little bit more potential buyers and sourcing community with that. So as it was said, we have a few training modules upcoming. I am personally very, very excited by the AI training, which has a very interesting content, which will focus on 2 main areas. The first area is all the tools for business, especially for small teams, small businesses, to support the efficiency, the efficacy of running a business. And the second part will focus on imagery, on video creation with those AI tools, which are today amazing, and our again smaller WFTO teams and members could benefit very much from to show their content, to show their beautiful products to the world. We will have another training, which is very important as well, on the trends, because it's very important that we stay on trend. So regarding the colors, the shapes, and what the market is actually in demand for, so that your next collections, that includes the one for summer, but also for next winter, can be aligned on those latest trends. That trend training will be most probably given by an American designer who has a large ecosystem of and access to all those information and resources she will be bringing to sharing with us. So we had the working groups and the stakeholder process. I think we will schedule a few more meetings. So if you feel like taking part of those groups, please do watch out in the WFTO newsletter on when is going to be the next session. You can also reach out to any of the project partners if you would like to take part in those discussions. This working group is more to shape the particular content we're working on for the upcoming activities, to plan for the future, and to see how we can make this project last. We would very much like this to become not only a blueprint for other similar associations per industry or sector within the WFTO membership, but also to make it last, not to have a finish line and then forget about it, to somehow make it last longer. So if you are and this is very much a conversation and a two-way street. So if you have ideas, if you would like to take part of it, please do let us know. So a few dates and events to look for. Again, WFTO is updating all the members via the newsletters. So please do open and do read those newsletters. There is also a space for the project on WFTO website, and then in our membership area, there's a lot of resources around and about this project, which are there for you. So as Erin mentioned, 31st of January is the deadline for the grant submission. So you have still a few days. This is, I wanted to say that this is not a complicated application. So even with 2 days, 3 days before the deadline, you still have the chance to submit and to have a chance to be selected to be one of the 10 WFTO members which will receive that grant. So 6th to 10th February, some of us will be present at Ambiente, and a few of our members are also present in Ambiente. Again, there's a list of those members which is published on the WFTO website. So we will have hopefully the time to meet in person, discuss, and talk a little bit more about this project, share some content from the fair, etc. 18th of February, as Erin said, the QR code and the byline training webinar, let's say. 26th of February, the AI training. February, March, a call for participation in the July session for Source Fashion. March, fashion, and I wanted to add, we will touch very briefly on home decor. This was a demand from our members. Usually the trends in this industry for home decor are inspired by fashion, so it makes sense to extend a little bit of that to kind of grasp a little bit of the the home decor industry as well. July, Next Source Fashion. And then, of course, the WFTO team compiled a beautiful fashion events calendar where you have access to worldwide important events around fashion, which is available on the website. So please do have a look and do participate. And especially if you do participate, please do let us know so that we can also amplify your message. We can post about your participation in those different events. So if somebody is attending a showcase, another trade event, which we might not be aware of, please do let us know. Erin and Rob and the communication team is very happy to share those news and to share with the members and create opportunities also where we can maybe meet because, as soon as we know that we are all or a few of us participating to an event, this also offers an offline opportunity to connect, to exchange. So it is very, very much important. I guess that's it from me. Erin, Zerin, Mikael, Natalie, would you like to add anything else?
Maybe Tadeusz would like to say a few words. I see he's here.
Thank you, Natalie. I must say I'm proud of achievements of entire project team. Thank you in particular for Isabella for coordinating the activities. This is really great. And our communication team, Erin and Rob, you are doing a really great job. Natalie and Zerin, without you, I can't imagine what would happen. And I'm so grateful and happy to see the synergy, how different partners contribute to the project, and that we, in fact, receive much more than each one of us could have delivered. Thank you, Mikkel, for your efforts of lightening the complex issues of advocacy and the EU legislation. And I hope that we really, on the beginning, on building of a kind of multi-stakeholder initiative. I can see the promising contacts in networking during events, during different conferences and meetings. And I will try to convince a sponsor for the future of this project to build something together also with them, to extend this initiative not only on internal stakeholders, but also external. And we'll work on this for sure. And we need only, I think, that the wind of enthusiasm coming from members who will allow us to fly higher and better. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to plug one last thing. Thank you to all those who are also participating in this project and who are maybe less visible than the core team. So the remaining of the WFTO team, the remaining of the PFTA team. So thank you for all your support, and thank you for all the members to joining us today. If you have any questions, I think we have a few more minutes. So please do unmute yourself and ask questions. Since I was presenting, I didn't see what was happening in the chat. But if there are any questions, we are happy to take them.
Isabella, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Hi. I want to be clear in this. It's good that we have 20 applicants for the project. I think it's excellent. But I don't know if you mentioned that there are only 10 applicants and can be accepted.
Yes, we have enough budget for 10 grantees. So out of all the application, we have a scoring system. So the whole team we will sit together and we will evaluate those applications and select those who scored the most, whose projects are well constructed and well documented in the project. Zerin, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, I will echo what you just said. Of course, we haven't reviewing the applications yet. So I don't know the whole idea, as Isabella said, that there would be up to 5,000 euros per member, and it would add up to 50,000. I don't know if maybe there's a project which asks for 1,000. So in that case, I don't know if we would have more applicants, but we haven't reviewed them. But my thinking is that probably projects are up to 5,000 or maybe more and asking for 5,000 for a grant like this. So yeah, I would echo what Isabella said, unless there is a bit of a different application.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Last call. Okay, I guess we can then close this meeting. Thank you all so much for your participation. The WFTO team will be probably sending you the recording. It will be placed so you can watch it again. Thank you all for the participation, and see you at the next one.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.